Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews with connections in mind. 2016 sees the almost 30-year wait for a Ghostbusters sequel come to an end with a reboot of the franchise that has caused almost more controversy than almost any other film this year. Some valid, but most not so much. In this newest incarnation of the franchise, we see a young scientist trying to make a name for herself, only to get brought down by her association to some radical concepts which turn out to be true. This leads her to get involved with a couple of other scientists who believe as she does, as well as an awesome down-to-earth sidekick, and together they eventually must unravel the mysteries of a new world and battle a powerful enemy using only their wits. Sound familiar? Well, aside from the obvious ties to the original Ghostbusters, this film also shares a surprising number of similarities to 1994's summer surprise, Stargate. Now, this video will contain certain spoilers of both films, so if you haven't seen both of these films yet and want to wait until you have, stop the video at this point. With that in mind though, let's begin.
Here we go again?
No, not again.
You've been...
How long have we been doing this?
Once more unto the verge. And again until we're both dead.
We have a gift. We see what no one else is willing to see. We do things others can't do.
Ghostbusters.
If there's a paranormal problem, we're the ones to answer the call. Hello.
The new Ghostbusters film sees Aaron, a scientist trying to make a name for himself at a respected university, get her dreams shattered when it comes to light that she's associated with some unorthodox and unscientific beliefs that ghosts exist.
Ghosts can find us all when they're real!
Who is that?
She gets laughed out of her university and ends up working alongside her old friend Abby, as well as scientist gadget wizard Holtzman and MTA worker Patty. Together, they not only prove that ghosts exist, but they wade into this world and discover a plot by a powerful enemy named Rowan, who threatens to destroy their world. With no support, it's all up to them to stop him. Now, when you hear this synopsis, you might not immediately think of Stargate, but in fact these two films have a remarkable number of things in common. Let's start with the obvious parallels and go from there. First, both of these films involve elements of myth that are generally believed to be make-believe, but actually turn out to be true. In Ghostbusters' case, this is obviously the fact that ghosts exist, something people in today's world believe to be just make-believe. In Stargate's case, it's the fact that the myths surrounding the Egyptian god Ra are not just myth, but are in fact based on, or at least inspired by, a real individual. Next, both of these films involve a scientist whose outlandish theories are proven to be true, and a realist who's brought into the fray. In Ghostbusters, Abby fills the role of scientist true believer, whose theories are mocked in academia, but are later proven to be true. And Patty fills the role of a realist whose real-world knowledge proves useful to the team. In Stargate, Daniel Jackson is literally walked away from by the respected archaeological community for claiming that the pyramids were in fact built by aliens. But his theories are also proven to be true. And Colonel Jack O'Neill fills the role of the realist who's brought into the team onto another planet and whose resolve eventually it proves to be the key factor in their adventures. Both these films also involve fighting an ancient force and having to rely only on yourselves and or a small group of individuals. In the case of Ghostbusters, while the main antagonist, Rowan, is a relative newcomer to the spirit world, he channels ghosts by using ancient ley lines, and the Ghostbusters must depend on only themselves, and really only a handful of others, if that. In Stargate, we see Colonel Jack O'Neill, Daniel Jackson, and his small team fight the ancient evil of Ra and his soldiers, and at least until the very end, they have to rely on only their small band and a small group of kids. Finally, both films involve the villain getting defeated by the use of a nuke. In the case of Ghostbusters, we see the Ghostbusters use the nuclear device on top of Ecto-1 to reverse the portal, which sucks in Rowan and all of the ghosts. In the case of Stargate, we see Daniel Jackson and Colonel O'Neill use the nuke that they brought, and they reverse the transport beam to suck the nuke back onto Ra's ship where it explodes. Now, none of these parallels should make you not want to see Ghostbusters, and certainly not any of the negative criticism from fans. This movie has just enough action and good humor to make it a very enjoyable film. However, the fact that this movie is a reboot and that the plot draws so heavily on the central plot of the original Ghostbusters may make audiences want to draw unfair comparisons with the original movie's great chemistry instead of seeing what's right in front of them in the here and now. All in all, this movie you should see at least once, but just remember, there's nothing new under the sun, and yes, you have seen it before. Until next time, thanks for watching.